Well, good morning, men. It's February 22nd, and so we turn to the book of Proverbs, chapter 22, for God's daily dose of wisdom. Jim, it's really good news that you're hanging in there and you're doing well with this COVID thing. I appreciate the update. Continuing to pray for you, brother. Excuse me. I still got a bit of the crud myself. So as I was reading through Proverbs 22, verse 12 jumped off the page, and it reads like this. The eyes of the Lord preserve knowledge, but he overthrows the words of a treacherous man. That's Proverbs 22, verse 12. On the surface, that seems fairly straightforward, but as you dig into it, it gets even better. So when he says the eyes of the Lord preserve knowledge, that word knowledge is the word da'at, and it means that which is experienced. It's the raw material of facts that are present. It's truth, basically, is what that is. It's the things that are truthful, the things that are factual, that God is really interested in. But he overthrows the words of the treacherous man. Who's the treacherous man? Well, if you dig down into that word treacherous, what you discover is that word actually means to deceive. It's also used in the context of one who is unfaithful. Primarily unfaithful in marriage, but also unfaithful in all relationships. So he's a deceiver and he's unfaithful. So he overthrows the words of that kind of a person. The words meaning the things that he speaks are not true. So what we're looking at here is we're looking at the contrast between that which is true, the Lord preserving knowledge, or overthrowing the words of a treacherous, unfaithful, deceiving person. Now, what's really interesting, what is also interesting about this particular proverb is that phrase at the very beginning, the eyes of the Lord preserve knowledge. Now, we see that phrase over and over again in the Bible, the eyes of the Lord. For example, I'm going to read to you this paragraph out of the Knowledge Word Book of the Old Testament, which is a resource that I commonly use. Anthropomorphically, that's not an easy word to say. Anthropomorphically, eyes are attributed to God. His eyes are in every place, preserving the good and evil. That's Proverbs 15:3. They focus throughout the whole earth to defend the righteous. That's 2 Chronicles 16:9. While they're upon the sinful to destroy them. That's Amos 9:8. Man can find favor in the eyes of the Lord. Genesis 6:8. He can do right in his eyes. That's 1 Kings 15:11. Or evil. 1 Kings 16:25. Man prays for God to open his eyes. 2 Kings 19:16 and Isaiah 37:17 and Dan 9:18. And when God hides his eyes, he ignores the prayers and needs of man. That's Isaiah 1:15. When he directs his eyes to man, he sustains and delivers him. That's Psalms 33:18, 34:15. So what is this phrase, eyes of the Lord, all about? Because we know that God is omnipresent. He's everywhere. He sees everything. He's omniscient. He knows everything. And so what is this whole idea of the eyes of the Lord all about? Well, it means that he's paying particular attention to a particular detail or a particular aspect of what he's talking about at the moment. Now, in our culture, in the American culture, we have phrases that talk about eyes all the time. For example, keep your eye on the ball. It's a phrase that came out of baseball. Is the pitcher throwing us a curveball? Is it a breaking ball? Is it breaking left or right? Well, you won't know unless you keep your eye on the ball. So keep your eye on the ball has become a euphemism for pay attention to what's going on. Keep your eyes on the ball. My prayer is that we would keep our eyes on the ball, that we would know without a doubt what the Lord has called us to, the things that are true, the things that are factual, the things that are true about us. We are created in him. In him we move, we live, we have our being. In him, we have the righteousness of Christ. In him, we are the beloved. Those are things which are factual and true about us. And from those things will flow the characteristics of God if we understand just how much we are loved and just how much we are beloved. Let us keep our eyes on the ball. Let us understand who we are and how much we are loved. And let us then go out and reflect that character of Christ to this world which so desperately needs him. My brothers, I love each and every one of you. Pray that you go out and you make a difference in someone's life today. God bless you.